Stu Macher's alive and well once again, and he's terrorizing the citizens of Woodsboro along with his estranged sister. At least that's one of the many theories that we here at Minor League Films are going to discuss today. Got my boy Flyknit here. We're excited about Scream 7 coming out on Friday. We'll be seeing it open today. Without further ado, let's get into some of these theories. Now, Flyknit. There's been a ton of theories out of here. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. I've even made up some of my own. Are you ready?
Yeah, give me the list. Let's jump into it.
First theory. The killer is a family member of one of the older killers.
Okay, where are you going with this?
That's the theory.
That's the theory. So one of the older killers. So let's think about who we got back here. So Roman's back. We know that in some form of capacity. We know Stu's back in some form of capacity or alive. So a family member for him could be likely. Who else would you think?
I'm just hoping it's not, but the only character that has been mentioned that's a family member of any of these killers so far will be Stu's sister. She's been mentioned, never ever heard of again, seen at all. And a lot of people are theorizing that Anna Camp is going to be his sister. I really hope that's not the case. I'm hoping Anna Camp's character is a complete red herring and it's somebody completely different. I don't want to see anybody related to any of the past killers. I feel like we've done that before, and it would just kind of be like a letdown.
Well, we know a couple things from the trailer. One, we know the killer grew up in Woodsboro. They say that verbatim in the trailer, so we know that part is true, and it's somebody who also grew up around Sydney and everything. So for Stu's sister, quote unquote, to be the killer, we've never seen her before, so we don't know how old she is. So it could be relatively possible for any of the other killers to be around in the town. They say in the town we grew up. I'm thinking it's got to be someone her age or Sydney's age, or at least or around. I don't know any other killer that would have maybe a relative that's not just completely out of nowhere. I mean, you can already scratch Billy. Him and his mom are gone. Is anybody else from Woodsboro that I'm thinking of that's a killer?
No, I don't think unless I don't think Mickey had any family either that we know of.
Yeah,
and that would be extremely corny if it was him or anybody. It would just be something corny if it's another family member. You did this to my family member who haven't seen even before you killed him.
Yeah, Jill's a part of Sydney's family, so I know they grew up in the same town, but I would obviously discount her. I don't think that's going to be in there. So, yeah. I don't know, but it sounds like someone Sydney's age grew up. I feel like Stu is really the only one with a family member who it could be.
So you think this is highly unlikely?
I'm not saying highly, because if it's a family member, that fits the theory. But I mean, I think that's all systems are pointing to that. So it's a 50-50.
I'm going 20-80 because if they do this, I'm just gonna walk out of the theater. That's all right. I'm gonna walk out, demand my money. If I don't get my money, sue him immediately. Judge will be in the theater with me. All right. The next theory is Stu is alive. Remember in the trailer they had a small shot of a psych ward.
Yeah.
Another theory is Stu is alive in that psych ward, and Stu is actually helping Sydney find who out this killer is.
Okay, I like that. So he's being proactive. If they have Stu's sister in the movie, which is pointing to, I also would like her to be proactive as well in solving the killer. I think that's a pretty good theory of either him helping her out or maybe his sister helping her out in some form of fashion. I think that would be good because, like I said, we have the Dewey role, which is no longer there. So we know Courtney Cox is back. So it's kind of a dynamic duo. They're kind of missing that third kind of partner as far as the old guard goes to help them figure out what's going on, who's the killer, and solve it. And as much as, I don't know Dewey's character is necessarily needed in this film, I think that role of a third person really helping them out and figuring them. And there's a cop in the movie. Maybe he kind of fits that Calvary role. Kind of looks like he dies in the trailer, so I don't know if he's going to be there that long. But it feels like that is a partnership, and you don't know who that guy is or where he's coming from. So he could be a main character. He could be the killer or working with the killer to fake his death because it looks like he dies in the trailer. So, kind of hoping there's some bit of that, but I would like it if it was Stu. Like I said, I would like him to come back and do that, and that would be pretty cool. And then it'd be like, is he gonna actually survive and go on? Because Scream 8 is already planned. We don't know what they're doing with that, but it would be cool that he kind of joins our team, or I guess the good guys for Screams going forward.
Yeah, I'd be okay. I think there's only two ways you can bring what's the name, Stu's character back. Having him still be alive, while I do think it's kind of unlikely that he's been alive this entire time and never mentioned even by Sydney, because you think she would have checked her bases and knew about that. I'm not sure how they would hide that one away. But if he is, I think that's one of the only ways you can bring him back. Is you cannot bring him back as a killer. I think that's really corny. Bring him back in that psych ward and have her find out he's there and go ask him for tips and say, who could this be? He keeps saying that we grew up together. I don't remember anyone. I don't have him on my list. And have Stu help her, kind of like an Anthony Hopkins helping one of the detectives from the psych ward. I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I agree with that also too. It would be kind of be cool because the thing about these movies and why I have the video coming out that why Scream should end is they've gotten formulaic without having anything to say. There's not much meta to really say in modern horror movies, because we're really at this point starting to blend genres, which in Scream I don't know if they're really ever going to do, because I think they kind of have a formula they're sticking to. So the one thing we haven't had outside of reinventing Scream is a redemption story for a killer. We haven't had that yet. They've all died pretty much and not made it out of their movies. I think Jill is probably the closest to making it out to where they were going to change it up. And now everybody's looking at the internet like, whoa, that's a good theory, right? Or that's a good script for a movie. So I think people kind of want to change up, and we haven't had a redemption story. So I'd be all systems go with that as far as a killer getting a redemption story way down the line where he's had time to change his mind and plenty of things have changed.
Yeah. Now, I agree. My next theory ties into that theory. The second way I think you bring Stu back. So not only, this is another theory, and I kind of made this one up myself. Not only is Stu helping Sydney in this movie, he's also helping the killer. The killer is also going to visit him, and he's just crazy. So he's helping them both. He's helping Sydney at first. Then you find out towards the end, they do the little flashback and show you what the killer's been doing. Stu's actually been helping the killer as well, just because he's crazy. That's my theory. I like that theory. That's, like I said, one of the two ways is he's helping somebody, but not helping somebody physically. I don't want to see him helping anybody physically. I don't want to see him stabbing anybody, attacking anybody. I want to see him still in that psych ward if he's back, helping or hurting from there. I think we can take him out of the picture physically.
Okay, that's an interesting theory there. Okay, so he's helping both sides. If I throw a follow-up question, I don't know if you have an answer to this, but what would he, outside of just being crazy, which they play that card a lot, outside of just being crazy, what do you think he would get out of helping kind of both sides in here?
Crazy points.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So
it.
haven't quite thought about that far.
Yeah, that's all I got right there. I just said, you know what? I see not a lot. I actually saw only a couple people saying he thought Stu was going to help. And I said, yeah, but what if he's helping and hurting? I don't think him hurting. The reason I had that theory is because him actually hurting Sydney from there, helping the killer from there, like you said, makes zero sense if that's what he was doing. Helping makes a little bit more sense, but helping and hurting, I could put that together. Put that together and show how crazy he is. Show how, much it affected him being Billy's pawn, if you will, and almost dying there and then being locked up for all these years.
Yeah, a couple things. One, I think that the theory was out that one of the plans going forward is Scream, like we talked about with Scream 6 and Jason Carvey at the beginning being the killer, was creating some level of Scream cult. That where these copycat killers could go around, and then the thought was that Stu had been running this cult. Now people have gotten a little crazy with it, and there have been people out with videos like Stu's been around the whole time for 30 years. He's had his hand in this, has hand that. That just is too much Roman Bridger for me. Throw that out. He's already screwed that up. I was like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him being in the shadows this whole time. When it's like, you suck. Still,
that doesn't make any sense either. For him to be in the shadows the whole time, like I said, somebody around Sydney, like first of all, Gail would have known that. Gail would have been like, okay, yeah, Stu is out of whatever. Stu is alive. She would have known that. Even Dewey, as dumb as Dewey was, Dewey would have known that. Sydney would have known that. They wouldn't just the whole Scream crew is about double tapping. shooting the person twice, 3 times in the head. They're not just going to say, "Yep, not going to check any of these records. Oh, he broke out. We're not going to watch the news. Everything's fine." No, that went all over the Woodsboro news.
Yeah, and also too, then why would he go after Sam and Tara there because they wouldn't really
Yeah.
be targets of his. So that has been really one of the things going around. Another thing too is that with Stu out here kind of not maybe pulling the strings, but just helping out the killer and playing both sides. We really just haven't kind of seen anything like that before. So I would be interested to see. I had something else, but I'll think about it in a minute. But yeah, I think that's out there. I think that could be fun with him playing around. Maybe he's not running a cult necessarily at this point, but it has some sort of influence in there.
Okay. Yeah. I hope I hope that's not true either. I don't see it. And they did that, I think that would be horrible writing. Because you really would have to explain what he's actually been doing and how he escaped anyway. You had to make up a stupid story like, oh, he was cold in the morgue, then we buried him. It was like he wasn't really cold.
Well, I
The
guess the one
coroner
thing
was done.
is he doesn't actually have to escape to run this cult, and we've seen this a lot where got the internet now. The internet's in prison, in jail. Like you can run it from there, and you know how easy it is to motivate people. I mean, we had that in the Batman, which I thought was the second best Batman that we've seen, where he just used the internet. Next thing you know, he had 30 shooters ready to do something. So I don't think he has to like escape and have a lair to be necessarily running a cult. Just to be something he cultivated online. What else has he had to do?
Yeah, but my thing is, I mean, like I said, even him being alive for me is a stretch. But him being alive and running a cult, I'm like, oh, that's a super stretch. That's a lot. It's a lot going on that you didn't tell us for 5 movies.
That is very true. They tend to do that a lot.
So I'm thinking my theory is kind of likely. Stu being alive just it's likely at this point, but being alive and doing something else, I don't think so. Next one, and this is going to be a quick one. One that I also don't really like is just plain old Stu's sister. Back to get some good old Stu revenge.
Okay. Probably played by Anna Camp, but
Yeah, I don't like that.
we'll see. I haven't been a fan of that one either. I mean, where has she been all of this time? And I'm tired of people like trying to take up for their relatives who are doing very much nonsense. I mean, when we break this down, and I think what I was thinking before is like this person who's talking to Sydney, who grew up necessarily why I kind of like your theory of somebody just helping somebody. It may not necessarily be the person in the mask. Now they could be manipulating. I mean, we have a ton of this trailer really hasn't shown a lot to get me necessarily excited necessarily outside of being a Scream movie, but it hasn't shown a lot of new characters that are even in the poster where I'm like, wait, like he's in the poster, like he's got to be playing his movie, and I haven't seen a clip of them at all. So a lot of people to play with as far as being killers in here. Now, if we stick to the theory, or not the theory, we stick to the proof that Ghostface told us, and he said, hey, I'm from Woodsboro, town where he grew up and all that, it very much could be somebody behind the scenes who is just pushing the killers to do this and be some level of mastermind. Now, for that to be even Stu's sister, that is not Anna Camp, it is not somebody whose face we've seen, and be somebody who's kind of just playing around in the shadows, be a little silly that two people in the family are crazy, but that is a possibility for even it being not somebody we've even seen yet.
Yeah, I don't like that theory at all. Every time I keep seeing, I know that people saying Anna Camp's person should be the killer, just like how we knew Jack Quaid's character was going to be the killer. I'm really hoping that she is the farthest thing from the killer possible. I hope she's like the best friend and tool of all the survivors in the movie. I hope she is, because I don't want to see that. I definitely don't want to see them say, oh, it's just, yeah, you killed my brother all these years ago. I've been hiding and waiting, and I started a Scream cult that was in 6, and they could tie that in. I'm like, no, please don't. Please don't. We've already had the crazy family member twice now. 3 times. Excuse me, 3 times now. I don't want to hear that. Was 3 times Loomis's mother? No, twice. Loomis's mother and Ricky's family.
Sydney's niece.
Oh, see. Yeah.
Or is it her? Is it her? Yeah, it is her niece.
And her brother. We've had too many crazy family members. I think we're good with that. If you do that in this movie, you might as well just keep on doing it every movie now. You might as well just go ahead. That's your theme now. Someone's family member that's crazy. It's a curse of the town. Just curse the whole town.
I think where they're going is like everyone's from Woodsboro, so you
Yeah.
right then and there you limit. Unlike with the last one, even though they were, I mean, in five, or they were in back in Woodsboro, of course, because these only happen in Woodsboro. Is that like at least we had a new batch of characters where it's like okay, it'll at least be someone new. Relating it back to somebody who knows Sydney and also is from Woodsboro makes it older and just kind of limits your pool of people it could be. I will say there's a couple people they can play with here that might be different. Could we get a return? And I have the name right here. Can we get a return of Charlie Walker?
No,
Maybe he grew up in
no,
Woodsboro.
please
He's got
don't.
a he's got a beef to pick with Sydney. I'm just throwing some names like people grew up there. He may have a beef with Sydney to go. Like it could be him. Like, hey, your niece kind of screwed me over, and we didn't even finish the plan. I'm coming at you. I don't know. I'm just saying like
No.
outside of maybe him or something else, there's not many people just to play with. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you have this limited pool of killers that you can really pull out of hat without it being just completely like stupid or like what like or who is this person. And the thing is, I like what you're saying. I like the fact that it's like okay, well, don't make it Anna Camp, make it somebody else. Like two things: this person A has to get enough screen time to where we can actually label them as a killer. Like as far as killers ranks, Billy Loomis's mom, Nancy, while it was like, okay, makes somewhat sense. I mean, she's also crazy, but makes somewhat sense she would do what she do. That was a very much like, what? Like,
Yeah.
so she's been running around. No one recognizes her. She looks completely different. Like they shoehorn the fact of her even being a killer in there because Sydney knew what she looked like. It would be like, well, I also had surgery and lost 60. I'm like, come on, man. Like your voice, did your voice change? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just like too much going on with that to be like, okay, that's logical. So you have to balance the point of being like, A, this is a person we can suspect to make it fun for the audience. And B, it can't just be out of nowhere. Like, I love the fact that like I don't want it to guess killer either. That makes it more fun. I'd be like, what did I miss going back that I can figure that out? But it also can't just be like, wait, what? Because that didn't make any sense. So I think that's the balance they kind of have to do here. With even if some random person, even though as soon as we found who Stu's sister is, she's gonna obviously move to the top of the suspect board.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping it's nothing like, yeah, I changed my name as soon as I found you killed him. Changed my name. I've been planning for 30 years, and my 30-year plan was to stab you.
Well, you used to be fat. I lost weight.
Yeah.
I also don't recognize your voice, though. Talk to you a bunch because I was dating your kid. Well, modulator. Like, like that would have, like, people don't think about that. That's a giveaway. People, the voices don't change. Like, I don't care if they lose weight or gain weight. Like, that voice don't sound, like, even making a that was, lady don't sound familiar to you. Yeah. Like, if they would have said that, I'd have gave it a pass. It's like, they didn't even mention that.
I'm hoping they don't do that one. That's my least favorite theory out of all of these. Yeah. Now, I got two more.
Okay.
Now, this one it's kind of similar to a family member being a killer. What if the killer is a family member of a victim instead? And he's a family member of the victim, and the reason why he decided to wait so long is because he really wasn't crazy. But over time, the victim that they were a family member of or best friend of basically got buried, never thought of again. Sydney's getting all the attention. The victim was like a straight A student, really good person, did everything right. They even show a flashback with Sydney and the victim's family member trying to talk, and then the victim's family member, feels disrespected by Sydney. She doesn't want to talk about it or anything. So all over the years, it's been built up. No one cares about Ashley, whoever the victim would be. No one cares about her except for me. I supported her through this. No one cares. They keep giving Sydney all the attention and limelight, and they will not highlight any of the victims. They only highlight Sydney as if she's the only victim. Boom.
I don't like that at all. I mean,
what? As soon as come out with that's grade A. That's I'm just oil saying, on a barbecue right there.
I'm just saying, I don't like that. There's nothing against you. I mean, you're coming off the top of the head here, but the reason I don't like that is because one, Sydney never did anything wrong. Like she's not like Jill, or she's trying like the fact that that theory that went on with Jill to push to another movie was great because she wanted the limelight, she wanted the fame, she wanted the success. That's really why she did what she did, even if people didn't suspect her as the killer. Sydney has been kind of stalked and chased this whole time. Like that doesn't make sense either. She's been stalked and chased, so she's never written a book. She's never gone to the limelight. Like would actually make more sense if somebody had a bone to pick with Gail and they were actually going after Gail this whole time because Gail has done that. Gail has shown up because what did she show up in Scream for? Like, my career's gone down. I don't really have much to talk about. Like, I've been running the same stuff. I sold this book from the number one, got really popular, made a lot of money. Money's drying out now. Now I'm like, okay, like, oh, it's happening again. Now I can do it all again and create this fame. So I could see somebody like, if you take that, move it over to Gail and say somebody's coming after Gail and it's not really Sydney, which I think was a plot out there that at one point Gail was supposed to be the star of the movie and someone's tormented her and maybe you could bring Sydney in to help her. I like that a lot because it's like there's plenty of bones big with Gail. I don't know why nobody targets her. I think they just target Sydney because she's the famous survivor from the first one, while Gail is just a person who made money off it. So I could go with that. With Sydney, she just hasn't done anything wrong to where I'm like, she doesn't want to be doing any of this. Like she just wants quiet. Like she's moved a couple. You know, let me finish real quick. You go. She's moved a couple times. Okay, more than once. She's never been to the limelight. She only comes back when she has to. She's not even there in 6 because she didn't have to be there now. That's because the movie didn't want to pay her. But technically, we got to roll that storyline. She didn't want to be. Wasn't in there 6, and she just didn't want to do it or be around it anymore. It's hard for me to find a family member to be like, my friend died, you survived, F you.
You say all that and ignore the fact that they don't have to have good writing.
But I want the movie to be good. It makes sense.
Something's going to be silly because this is Scream 7. This ain't like a Scream 4 and 5 where it was kind of fresh on both those movies. It's not going to be spectacular writing. If they write in something like the whole theory I just stated, with it being a family member of a victim, a best friend of a victim. Yes, we know Sydney didn't do anything at all. Nothing. Gail probably did more. But all they have to do is go crazy and say, man, she's getting all the... It's not about her doing anything. It's about her getting all of the spotlight because she's a victim that time or all these times. And then the fact that the victims don't get the spotlight. They're not named.
I mean...
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just crazy. It's
understandable. And let in mind that if we just didn't sit through a Scream 6 where it's like they're just crazy, I selfishly, I want a person that is doing what they're doing for a real reason. I mean, even when you look at Jack Quaid's character Richie, he's crazy. But at least he has a beef with these stab movies. I'm like, man, these are getting generic. They suck. Like, I'm better off making my own. I'm going to go terrorize these people and, maybe inspire a better movie than what I've gotten. Like, as much as that doesn't make sense, he has a purpose of what he's doing, and he's crazy. Or a Mickey where he's like, you know what? Like, I'm crazy, but I want to be on trial. Like, I want to be a famous serial killer, and this is my chance, and I can copycat this very famous killer from just a couple years ago and replicate that, and people are going to know my name. Like, while those characters are crazy, there is a purpose behind what they're doing. And when you think about it, you're like, okay, that guy's crazy, but I see where he was going with that, or I see where she was going with that, or love or something. Like, give me something that at least I could be like, you know what? You're emotional. Emotions can make you crazy sometimes. I get it. Though things I don't want to see here is like Scream 6, where it's like, even emotion's not pushing you to do that. Like, come on. And you're bad at it. Come on.
You said all that to say, you said all that for me to say, I would sit there on this theory and I saw that on the screen. I would say, yeah, I get it. I understand completely. I would understand.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you want to die on that hill, you do it.
I'm dying on it. I understand completely. All right. Final theory.
Right.
It's not really a theory. I thought it was cool. So I was talking to somebody about this on TikTok.
Okay.
We ended up going back and forth when they thought it was a family member of Stu, because Stu's so popular. We know Stu is a big reveal. Oh, he's coming back, or in some capacity, whether it's a flashback, a long flashback, or whatever. It's not anyone related to Stu at all, because in the movie, that's that house or whatnot where Stu
The OG
died in,
house.
and yeah, they're not going to burn down that house if it's one of Stu's family members, because if it's or any of their family members, based on the killer that hates Sydney, wants to burn it all down. If they really cared about Stu's legacy, like some of these theories push, the killer is doing it because of the legacy of one of the other killers like Stu, they're not going to burn down the crazy legacy to all these killers going after Sydney. They're not going to
Oh,
burn that.
I would say I actually argue with that. I think they would burn it down because of what the house is being used for. Now, is that the OG house? I don't know,
I think
because
it is.
it's supposed to be an Airbnb that they made, so they could have just built a house that looked like that or whatever, maybe. Or maybe it is the OG house, but it's being exploitive of what Stu and their legacy was. It's like, oh, kind of like, it's a gimmick. It's like, oh, you go in there, you have a ghost face peering around the corner. You have, it looks like the OG house, or you got body, where people die. Like it's a gimmick. So I could see them burning down that house and be like, well, this has nothing to do with Stu's legacy. It's somebody really making a mockery of it.
But if it is that house, I don't see them burning down the real house where that happened. I don't see it.
Okay.
Because whether it's a gimmick or not, you can kill the people that come in there. We've seen that quite a few times. Even in Michael Myers, you can kill the people that come in there. You're not going to burn down your house that's a part of your character and a part of the reason why you're doing it is stuff that happened there. I don't see that happening. The killers ain't that crazy. That's a whole level. That's a whole different level of crazy.
All right. What's the other part of the theory?
No, that is the theory.
Oh, if it's somebody that follows Stu, they wouldn't burn down a house.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to. Basically, I don't think it's going to be one of Stu's family members. Everybody's saying his sister or whatnot. That's one of the reasons I don't think that's going to be one of the family members. The other reason being, I think that's terrible writing, and we've already had terrible writing in the same vein of, hey, I'm just the family member that you never really knew about. Here I am. Hello. I did all this for so many years to get to you. I don't think that's the other reason I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean,
I just want to add a little bit of respect on the house.
Okay. I mean, I can see it going either way. I can see it being a gimmick because somebody's just trying to make money off it. Or I can, so I can see a reason that they would burn it down even if they're close to it. But yeah, I mean, I can see it too. It's like, yeah, it's them. They'd be like, oh, well, this will be our camp house, and anybody comes here, I'll just kill them.
Yeah. Well, those are all the theories that I thought were somewhat likely and somewhat interesting to talk about. Do you have any additional thoughts on the Scream 7 movie coming out?
No, man. One day out of this point, very looking forward to it. Off the clues we have, wouldn't mind being somebody back from Woodsboro that's over at Pinecrest now causing damage. But I just wanted to make sense, wanted to be logical. I like a theory that Stu could be helping both sides, and that's pretty cool. Also, Stu just helping Sydney and not being the killer. I like that as well. Maybe even in physical form, getting out and being able to, help them just be like, hey, we need your help on this case. We don't know what's going on. And somebody taps him and he's able to do that and maybe gets killed or maybe he doesn't. So I think that would be cool. Some interesting theories here. There's a lot going on. Hopefully Anna Camp is a red herring, but we'll see what she does in the movie because that's one of those castings where it's like him. And we also got the dude from Gen V, who is also another one where it's like, I'm going to be guilty of him as soon as it comes because he just looks guilty. It's not his fault.
Crazy and everything he's in.
Crazy. And he hasn't been in the trailers yet. So aside from this movie, man, you want to see it. Got the fan night screening. I think you got the regular one. So I don't know what the difference is going to be, but
I got the fan night thing too, and I think it extends the movie for 6 minutes. I'm guessing it's behind the scenes stuff.
2 hours and 4 minutes. So it's an hour and 56. So it ain't no difference.
Yeah. So, but that's all we got for you today on theories. The only thing I think we agree on that we hope does not happen is a long lost family member or friend that we just never heard of for no reason. If you're going to do that, give us a real reason why no one knew about it.
Yeah.
So, if they can't find us on here, Flyknit, where can they find us?
Well, they found us on here because they're watching the video. But if you are not on YouTube
You know what?
or want to find us at other locations, we are Instagram, MLF Shorts, and and Minor League Films on there. But most importantly, TikTok. Got Kuronocomics there. You got MLF Shorts, and then here on YouTube, other pages is MLF Shorts and the Kuronocomics as well. So it's all down link in the bio. You can also find the personal pages down there. Let us know your theories. Let us know what you got going forward, what you like, what you don't like, what you're hearing, and what are your expectations for the movie as well. As well as hit that like button and hit that sub button, man. What's up, man? We're talking a lot of Scream. We got a lot going on with the review of the movie, and after the movie, also doing some overviews of other Scream movies. So we're gonna be on this franchise for the next couple of weeks. So if you're a Scream fan, lock in with us.
And we'll catch you next time.